Hi everyone, my name is Dante and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So welcome back to 31 Days of Halloween. This is episode 3 and we are doing another recreation. Today's recreation is from another makeup artist named Lena, and she created this crystal skull makeup look and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Her version is in pink. I made my version in blue and I think it's going to be a lot of fun because I wanted to make my own creative twist on it. I also really love gemstones and the butterflies, and like that's just my style, and I'm really excited for this look because like my two favorite things in a makeup look. Perfect. I am so excited about where this series is going, like all of these creative looks on top of each other. I'm just having a lot of fun doing this. It's also helping me learn a lot more like different makeup styles, which I think is really cool for me as like a learning experience. And I'm also really glad to be back on YouTube like a lot more often now. I think like I really missed it. But anyways, back into the makeup look. I'm so excited to do it and we're just gonna dip right into it. So to start off with this look, I actually will be blocking out my eyebrows. So I will be taking some of this glue and just shoving that into my brows and then using a brush to brush the hairs up to make them flat and then setting it on top with concealer and powder. Just running that glue all in my hairs. After gluing the brow down, I am taking a NYX color corrector and just applying a little bit on top of the dark spots of my brow. Now I will take my beauty blender in some setting powder, dip right into it, and then we shall press the powder right into the brow. We want to do it nice and gentle so none of the hairs actually stick up and pop out. And now taking a fluffy brush and lightly brushing off the excess. Now taking my Tarte Shape Tape concealer and applying that right on top. So my brows are pretty thick, so you can still see a little bit coming through, but that is totally fine. As long as your brow is pretty much completely blocked, you are perfectly fine. Now I'm just going to do that same thing on this brow as well. After priming my eyelid with some concealer, I will be taking a small fluffy brush and dipping into this light brown shade here in the Tartiste Pro palette. And using that shade, I will just pat it right into my crease. Now taking a fluffier brush, I will be dipping into this shade right next to it, the lighter brown, and using that to blend out the darker brown we just placed. After applying the top shadows, I am going to take some concealer and just conceal under my eyes. Now taking that first brown that we used, I'm just going to drag that down to my lower lash line. Then taking back that lighter brown, I'm just going to blend out that lower lash line. Now taking some concealer on a flat brush, I'm just going to cut my crease. Now taking a flat brush into the E-Girl palette, I will be dipping into this light white shimmer here and applying that on the inner portion of the cut crease. Then I will be taking the Mauves palette from Juvia's Place and dipping into these two shades and applying it on the ends of that white silver. For my inner corner, I will be dipping into the Sailor Moon X Colourpop palette and using this golden light shade here. Now taking some black eyeliner, I will be creating a medium-sized wing. Now that this eye is finished, I will be moving on to this eye off camera, and then we will move on to the foundation around here and then the pink face paint in the center for the crystals. Okay, so now that both eyes are done, I am now going to take my Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation and just blend that around the ends of my face so then I can leave the center for the pink face paint. And just setting that in with some of my setting powder. I'm pretty sure this entire time I've been saying pink face paint, but I actually meant blue. The original is pink, but I want to do blue. But dipping into my Athena face paint palette, I will be using this light blue here to create the shapes of the crystals on my face. I'm actually just going to start off with the like holes around the eyes. At this point in time, I'm kind of just going with any sort of crystal shape. This is just the foundation for shading and highlighting and all of the extra details, so it is gonna look crazy at first. Just trust the process. And just setting in the foundation progress that I have so far, I will be using a white translucent setting powder. Now we are actually just going to take a little bit of this darker blue and mix it with the lighter blue just to get a slight darker blue. I'm just using this darker blue to draw little details, little lines, just basic details to sort of give myself a map for when I really do good detailed work. Now dipping into the darker blue without mixing any colors, I'm just going to add a little bit more depth. Just going for a broken crystal kind of vibe over here. Now dipping into my Avani X Morphe palette, I will be dipping into this dark blue shade here and using that to add a little bit more shading to the dark lines. Now dipping into this really light blue shade here on a fluffy brush, I'm just going to apply it on little parts that I want to highlight. Now dipping into this dark turquoise shade next, I will be also using that for a little bit more details, and then we will add white face paint for highlights. I'm so glad that Halloween is back. I honestly really miss doing makeup looks like this. It's honestly the reason why I got into makeup in the first place. Like when I first started makeup, it was SFX makeup. I was always just so fascinated with like scary and creative makeup, just makeup that wasn't your normal glam. Anything that had to do with like being creative and expressing yourself through art, like that was my road. And I just happened to find myself, expressing my creativity through makeup instead of, on a canvas or a tattoo artist or anything like that. Makeup was just that one thing that helped me the most when it came to spreading my creativity. I remember I used to only do makeup on Halloween, and then eventually like I just got bored of only doing it that certain time in the year. So I decided to just do it all year round. Like I just bought myself a palette for, no, actually, my mom bought me a palette for my birthday and I used it all year round, even though I told everybody that I was saving it for Halloween. Now I'm just going to be dipping into this white shade and using that for highlights and harsh lighting on the crystals. I'm also dragging a bit of that paint down my chin because the teeth are gonna separate it. So like this paint going down are gonna make the teeth look separated because we are using gemstones. Speaking of, we are now gonna move on to gems. I have some little pearls, some silver little pieces, I have gemstones, and I'm just gonna go crazy all around wherever I'm gonna place my gemstones. You can do whatever you like. Now I'm just taking some dark blue liner and drawing some skull teeth. taking back some glitter glue, I'm just going to apply some gemstones right over here leading up to the skull teeth. Okay, so I don't have the gem shapes that she used for the teeth, so I am gonna leave them alone. But I did draw like the little butterfly wings, and I'm about to glue them to my face. So when I drew the butterfly wings, I added like these little flaps on the end of the wing, and I'm just going to put some glue on there and then use that to paste the wing wherever I want. Now that my butterflies are nice and pasted, I will be taking my favorite mascara and then applying some lashes. For lashes, I will be using Lily Lashes in the style Miami. And with that, I think we are done. I think I am going to apply some white contacts in just to make it look a little bit more dramatic. But this is it for the makeup. I will be taking some photos and yeah. Alright you guys, so I think that is going to be the end of today's video. Be sure to follow all of my social media down in the description below if you would like to see some extra looks, behind the scenes, and other fun things that I post. I will also leave Lena's information in the description below if you would love to visit her and say hello as well. But with that said, I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!